Is there anybody? There's one person watching. That's probably us. So there's nobody in here.
That's us.
We're simply entertaining ourselves at this moment.
Oh, wait, no.
No, wait, watching now. Mike Royals got in. All right.
Now.
Welcome, Mike.
Yeah. Testing out the new camera. Everybody can see the entire studio now.
Yeah, zoom out. Give them the full studio. You've had all of these guests have come on in the past, and they've said you can't really see everything that's here. That's what we heard last week from Paul, is that the whole studio was this badass thing. So what we did is we built we ordered a Mevo camera.
Yep.
Which is about a $350 item. It works off of an iPad. You are not getting the audio, however. You've got us unplugged. Watch this. We're going to make this so much better.
Watch.
Now everybody's actually going to hear us because you've plugged it back in.
I can't believe I just did
you
that.
guys let me know if that helped you out in the chat. I'm guessing that made a huge improvement just now. Yeah, no, Mike doesn't have to look at somebody's back anymore. Unfortunately, we don't have any friends here today, but it's a good test. So yeah, basically it's a new $300 camera. It works on Wi-Fi. It's fully HD. So the goal is we'll be able to save high definition video out of that onto an SD card and post it directly onto YouTube. But then the Facebook feed, what you guys are seeing now, should be a much improved quality compared to what we had before.
Yeah, it's a lot better now. Full HD, like you said, which means that everybody can finally tell how ugly we are.
Yeah. I went and saw Clay today at MVP trying to make myself look better, but now you can see my age. So you can zoom in on Dakota's face, my face. It's like having a TV studio on the iPad now.
Yep, that's right.
So as we watch it go, it's going to zip right on in there.
Yep, I got it going, and then I just set a random preset again because I keep pressing and holding. Now I'm moving over to your face,
and it's just going to pan. That is nutty.
Yeah,
you're going to get good at this. And at some point, we're going to figure out how to. Can you put names on there so we can say Dakota Davis?
Oh yeah, that would be really cool. Kind of like how David Rubin does with his. I don't know. What do you think Dave Rubin uses on his show?
I don't know who Dave Rubin is.
You've never seen Dave Rubin?
No.
Okay, so Dave Rubin is kind of like a classical liberal guy. He's a libertarian talk show host. Kind of made this huge transition of being a very progressive Democrat to becoming libertarian, and he's had all kinds of huge names on his show. He's had Milo Yiannopoulos. He's had Ben Shapiro. All these dudes are coming on his studio, and he just built a great one at his house.
That's awesome.
His looks a lot. His is on par with Glenn Beck.
So we'll give everybody a teaser. If you're here, we're on the inside. We can't promise that these are actually going to happen, but this is what we have lined up right now. So for the people that are listening or watching the replay, this is a ridiculous lineup of guests we have for the next 2 months, or the next 5 or 6 episodes, which is the next month between now and March 1st. Tonight's the camera test. So this is the you guys get the sneak peek of what the new HD world is going to look like here. We're no longer recording just off of an iPhone. We've got state-of-the-art web streaming video, and a new gigabit internet connection as well from Metronet.
Right.
So it's ridiculous.
Some serious improvements going on, and then we also have the IQ6 for whenever we go and record meetings, public meetings like we did the park board meeting, the county council meeting, things like that, and we'll actually be able to hear them. I won't get those annoying live stream comments that say "turn up the volume."
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're still gonna have the baby boomers that yell at you in caps locks about that.
My mom just asked who is videoing,
and
that is what is so cool about this new piece of equipment is that I am controlling the camera with the iPad right now. So you just saw it zoom in, and I can zoom it out. I can zoom in.
You
really
can pan the whole studio. Go from one side to the other. Just pan the entire studio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Dad, my dad said, so this is why I bought a cup of coffee. You are going to, if we work everything out with our vendor, this is going to work out nicely. Dakota, I'm not sure if that's actually going to have pan the entire thing or not.
It's kind of got to catch up.
Is it delayed? No, I think it just lands where you go, so you have to do that individually. We're still playing with this for the very first time ourselves. Dakota, on the iPad, panned the entire studio, but it didn't do it.
You can see my cake poster, my We Are Libertarians poster, and the winter is coming. tapestry.
All right, so here's the cool thing. The lineup of guests we have. We have Mark Rutherford on Thursday night, who is the chairman of the Indiana Debate Commission. He's going to be our guest Thursday. He's also the Libertarian Party of Indiana, probably going to be the nominee for Secretary of State.
Yep.
So we're going to have him and his campaign team in here, and it's going to be a packed house. I think he's bringing 3 or 4 people. So it's going to be the busiest studio we've ever had for an event.
Yeah.
So a statewide candidate for office.
I don't know. I'm like looking over all around the room right now, and I have no idea where anybody's going to sit. Like we got room for 1, maybe 2 people.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll put him on a bar stool in the corner. We'll be all right. And then Thursday of next week, we've got Sean Rao is coming back. Sean was our most downloaded episode of all time.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that one. He brought some pretty good beer last time.
Yep. So we fully expect to have more beer from Sean, and who knows what else. And then the next week we have 2 shows scheduled. I went a little crazy with the booking, and on the 14th, not St. Patrick's Day, on Valentine's Day, it's going to be you, me, and Representative Tom Saunders.
Yes,
we're going to have a candlelit episode.
We have a great Valentine's date set up for everybody. I hope that while you are sitting at your romantic dinners, you secretly have the live stream going on your lap.
You've got us in your ear listening. And then the next day is we're still working out the details, but a very exciting one for me. If you guys know motorsports journalist Robin Miller, he's agreed to do a call-in. Robin is under the weather and not allowed to travel, but he is going to do a call-in. So we are going to broadcast from the We Are Libertarian studios, where we have the technology in Southport to take calls, and we're going to do Dakota, myself, Chris Bangle, and Danny. We'll do a live stream with Robin Miller and cover local basketball and motorsports and whatever else comes up. So I'm really excited to that one. It's going to be a little bit different episode, but a fun one. And then on the 22nd of February, we've got Steve Horowitz, who's going to be on. He's a published economist. Like these last 2 people, literally, you go to Wikipedia and they have entries. They're not like a joke of we are a long way from from having all of our friends on the show.
Yeah, we're finally hitting the big time. I think before we had a guy that was just living out of his van, and that was like the coolest episode that we had ever done.
I'm really looking forward to having him back again.
I am too.
I do want to catch up with him. But yeah, Steve Horowitz, who's at the John Shatner School of Economics at Ball State. Published author, one of the leading libertarian economists in the world. He's right in Muncie, and he's agreed to come by. So we're going to have him.
Yep, and his department has stirred up quite the controversy at Ball State because of all the donations that have been put in by the Cato Institute and the Koch brothers. There was a big student resistance, like a leftist organization, and created this whole student resistance against allowing them to put that money into Ball State, but they're fine, if they don't teach free market economics, if they teach something else,
right.
Then you can have big money.
Then it's a problem, yeah.
But once you start funding things that I don't agree with, then we have a problem.
So I think he's more of a researcher and a writer. I looked yesterday when I was trying to find his email address to communicate or to set this up. And I think he only teaches 2 classes. He teaches 2 100-level econ classes, and then the rest of it, he leads the department. So he's got the other things that go with it.
Yep. I just added him on Facebook the other day.
Did he add you back?
Yeah, he did.
He hasn't added me back. I've had a pending friend request forever. I got to cancel it and add it back.
Yeah, you do. He's forgotten about it.
I'm in line.
You're way down the list now. You must have added him right whenever he was having new students coming in.
Probably. That's probably what happened.
Got lost in the shuffle.
And then I was talking to Caitlin Kopetsky today. You know Caitlin a little bit from our Snapchat group.
And I've also watched some of their YouTube videos.
So they've got blonde and brunette. So Caitlin and Jess Hooker. We are trying to work out having them on. They'll come on. I'm hoping to make March 1st work, but when you try to get 2 or 3 guests on at the same time, it's a little bit more of an issue. But they will be phenomenal guests. Caitlin, I got to know when she was on the Jeff Bibbert podcast. She was his co-host.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to catching up with Caitlin as well. So we've got a lot of really good guests coming. Do they have as many
subscribers as we do? I mean, because we had our checkpoint, and I'm pretty proud of that.
They've got 250 likes on Facebook, but they're at 1,500 on YouTube. They're a big deal on YouTube. They're a big YouTube show.
Man. They got way more than we do.
Yeah.
That just means all of our fans on Facebook have to, for some reason, and I don't know if you can explain this, but how in the world do we have like 20 more followers on Facebook than what we have Facebook likes.
I think what it is that people are ashamed to actually. I think it's probably a handful of Republicans that it's like we're too dirty or edgy for them.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
they don't want to actually show that they like it, but they want to follow the page. I think that's what's happening.
Well, I'm proud to be that for those people.
I always like to be the most edgy person in your. If I'm the edgiest person in your life, you probably need a little more excitement.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. So that's the excitement on that side. Had a couple of things this week. I've got some free advice I've got planned real quick for folks. If you are, and Mike Broyles is in here still. He was on this little board with me. Myself, Cade, Mike Broyles, Kelly Riggs, and some others. We were asked to serve on the Planning Commission Steering Committee, and it dealt with all kinds of different issues, and wind, of course, took it over. So there's been like a targeted emailing campaign that has come about in the last 3 or 4 days to anybody that was on those that served on that board, or as a county councilor, or as a county commissioner, or any sort of a planning commission member. So we've all been getting these emails, and I've been getting it at work. Y'all, if you guys want to adjust, it's Morrell@bosshoggoliberty.com, and I'll there's a better chance I'll read it there than if you email me at work. But these guys, I appreciate that they've got comments and they want to make a difference. But no matter who you're messaging or trying to reach out to, you've got to formulate your thoughts in a way that's going to be that's going to get read. Don't yell at people in caps locks. It doesn't work. It's just gonna you're just gonna create a group chat to laugh about it.
Oh my gosh,
and then
so funny.
I've had 2 different people give me top 10 lists, like they're from David Letterman, which is I guess a reasonable way. But honestly, just if you're trying to reach out to an influencer, and I'm not the guy that makes these decisions, but if you're trying to reach out to an influencer, do it in a way that's a thought process that makes sense, it's logical, and somebody can engage with you. And also use some paragraphs, because there was another one that came in that was just
oh my
you
gosh.
couldn't read. It was
just
unreal.
This giant block of text.
It was
you did
letters.
End up sending a picture of that one. That was hilarious. And then but I think that my favorite one was the caps lock one, because I always make fun of that. Like that's like the easiest target for me.
Right.
Is making fun of people who constantly use caps locks. And then there was a point in there where he actually used the number 1 whenever he meant to use an exclamation point, and that was like the cherry on top. That was just the funniest thing. Yeah.
So anyway, we're not trying to debate it. I'm not the decision maker. Most of the people on that steering committee at this point, we don't have an influence anyway. The planning commission is going to have their input, and then the commissioner is going to have theirs. But just as you're talking, and this is a lesson to learn, whether you're talking to somebody at the very basic level of a committee that I was on, or if you're going to the State House and meeting with Representative Saunders or Lysing, or you're emailing your senator worried about something, make sure that you have a point of view that's based in logic, and it's formulated in a way that's going to get read, because otherwise they're just going to chuckle at it and it's going to move on, and you're going to be mad, and nobody's going to participate.
See, and you're
not going to have a good dialogue.
And that was the big thing about doing the recording for the people that are against moving the Doughboy statue. Was Mr. James Thurston, who gave that speech, and it was well thought out. It was well put together. He prepared for it. He brought up actual logical points and actual talking points, and he didn't try to belittle anybody that was for moving it. He supported the restoration, knew their hearts were in the right place, but he just had a fundamental disagreement with it. I think if you're trying to enact change, if you have enough people that are acting like that, then you're going to get heard, instead of just yelling in caps locks and putting the number 1 where an exclamation point should be.
And I don't want to pick on people. I really don't. We can have disagreements all day long, and that's a good thing, and that makes us better. And there are many sides of the anti-wind argument that I fully understand. The county council should never give an abatement on a wind farm. It shouldn't happen. We shouldn't be giving abatements to new businesses that are coming in. I would be completely for elimination of property taxes in general, but we need a fair playing field, and we don't need to be picking winners and losers with abatements. Right. So that's the only that's the only thing that the county should be that the county council would be dealing with. County commissioners have a little bit more influence.
A little bit more in there.
And the planning commission has some more influence as well. But man, you've got to have you got to have logical arguments. Don't go in there just with emotion. It's not gonna go well.
Oh my gosh, that's been like, that's what I just get so tired of. Whenever you're talking to people about political issues in general, is just how flooded with emotions people can get instead of just listening to facts. You know, like I mean, everybody's guilty of it. I've been guilty of it myself as well. But just, you know, you just get so worked up about things that it clouds your mind from being able to hear the facts to an opposing side. And that's not how you formulate ideals. That's not how you change people's minds. It's not anything like that.
All right.
That just gets so irritating.
One more thing to talk about or pitch real quick before we finish up. You went through last night and you got on T-Chip. We've got some sort of a disagreement with T-Chip right now, and apparently we can't do anything right. So we're already on their crap list.
Point to the part of the logo.
Why don't you just zoom in there?
Oh, I can.
Yeah, make it happen there, Captain.
I mean, it's right there behind you. It's just gonna be zoomed in on your face at the same time.
So I'm waiting on it to update on the laptop here. This logo is on a T-shirt and it's on a mug and a hat on the T-Chip website, and we've all linked to it. There's a Liberty Chicken on there that we think might have your decision to put the Liberty Chicken on our logo might have gotten us a cease and desist from the Libertarian National Party. That's the only thing we could think, because you got some hate mail today from.
I did. I got it from T-Chip. It literally was a cease and desist order. That I couldn't use it because it was violating some. It's right there on the laptop too, but it was violating intellectual property rights. So I'm like, all right, but I made this.
Well, it's it's a wink and a nod to the Libertarian Party is what it is. It's
yeah, not. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
It's not endorsed by the Libertarian Party, but it's the it's the boss hog of liberty.
I'm going to be sending a email to Mr. Chairman, Mr. Nick Sarwark. I almost said Narc Sickwark.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know if that's the problem or if if somebody just blanketly said, "Hey," but our fear is that they're going to take our money. So we think these items are going to ship and they're going to actually deliver and go to print. But then all of the profit that we're supposed to get out of this that helps pay for the studio upgrades,
which is like $90
right now. It's like $80 or $90 at this point, and we thank everybody for putting their stuff in. We think that maybe they're going to just pocket our money and run away with it. It's like 100% taxation from Bernie Sanders.
Because literally in the part where I'm reading about, because I'm like, holy crap, what's going to happen now? And it says you may or may not receive the profits from your campaign. I'm like, so that means you're going to take my money. There's no other way it doesn't equate to that. But
yeah, now, Spangle is weighing in saying if you bought the mic as clip art, it may be trademarked. You bought that as a logo file. I think we have full rights to that.
The microphone, but I added a lot of things. I don't know. And part of the problem might be is during their initial review of it, because it's not like it was very long. Somebody really had to be on the ball waiting for us to drop this campaign.
Maybe somebody's just trolling you, and this is all somebody just being very elaborate.
It could be, but I think another possibility is that whenever T-Chip was looking through everything, they looked up Boss Hog of Liberty, and they were like, they saw we had a website, YouTube page, the podcast. They saw we had a big, the studio and everything, and they were like, well, they're probably not using T-Chip. I don't know. It's a possibility.
You think that they think that we're too big for them?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't know. We paid good money for the logo, and then you made it your own. So we'll see. We've got some stuff printed. Vistaprint took our money for these sweet polo shirts that you and I bought.
Yeah, we bought sweet polo shirts. We bought promo boxes. We bought all kinds of stuff, and we're gonna
have all kinds of merchandise that we can no longer use and have to throw away when you have to build a new logo.
See,
again.
We're not even gonna do that. I'm just real close to just suspending the T-Chip order, and then going to somebody local and having T-shirts made.
Well, the nice thing about T-Chip is we don't have to inventory them. We don't have to deliver them. Yeah, he can order it and it comes straight to him.
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems it's just super irritating. I'm about done with them. They have like a D on the Better Business Bureau's website. So
yeah, we'll see. Well, anyway, if you haven't ordered yet, get in there right now. Make your order. I don't know if we're going to get any profits from it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to ship the merchandise. So. Yeah. And I think we've had about 8 or 10 people order in about 4 states already. It blows me away, the people that listen and watch, by the way.
By the way,
Ohio,
if
North Dakota, North Carolina, Indiana. People all over the country are listening to the show.
And then we had the one in Pakistan.
We did have a Pakistan listener, and then an incredible. The reason that this is possible is Craig DaCosta from Hawaii. Just an absolutely phenomenal donation that helped us. Out. So,
it was
phenomenal.
Awesome. It's been a great experience. It's been really rewarding. And if T-Chip doesn't send out our T-shirts, I will also be very upset.
Now, Aaron Dickin is politicking. We're going to have to do it. He's saying, can I get a better location for my sign?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask Clay Morgan how much he paid.
Yeah, well, Clay has definitely helped with the studio as well.
We can probably take out that one that says Morrell.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, depending upon how the spring goes, we may have to replace that with a different one for Morrell.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's very possible.
It's up to Todd Hyday, I guess. Todd, it is in your hands.
It's up to the voters. No, the Republican filed today, so there's
true.
a Republican that's filed. We'll see if there's any Democrats that file. I think we can win a 3-way race or a 4-way race.
I think so.
I think we've got a legitimate chance to win the county council seat. Haven't decided that I'm running yet, but I am giving it real consideration.
Yep. I hope you do.
All right. Well, I think that's all we need to cover for now. We've established that the people like the camera. It's working. The studio looks incredible. We finally, you put in all of this work building the studio last fall.
I know,
and nobody could see a damn thing. You would see the Beats by Dre over in the corner, and then you would see the 4 of us and 5 sound tiles.
Yep.
And now you can actually see.
You can see a lot of
full studio. You can see Aaron Dickens. The one time I agreed with Aaron on the internet, and he printed it out. You can see the newspaper covers that we've had. There was the time that Nate Lamar decided he was running for office. And then he changed the news later, but it made the newspaper. He announced that on the show. There's the time where we recorded back in the day on my my living room my dining room table,
and we were on the front page.
We made the cover for that.
I think that I'm pretty sure that we have to have Travis back so that he can get a better picture of us. We'll look very appropriate.
Mike Broyles is listening from Kentucky. Mike, did you ride your bike all the way down there tonight, buddy? Mike rides his bike all over the place.
I know, I see that. He's really dedicated. I thought that I was doing pretty good by riding my mongoose down to work.
Yeah, you ride from the studios north of Q Avenue down to the Brisket Energy facility down off of 300 South.
Yep, down south of your house, and I thought I was doing pretty good, but Mike keeps posting these things like, where in the world? I'm like, I have no idea. Where in the world are you?
One more fun thing before we sign off. I took the time this evening to go through and approve my Facebook. I'm nervous about what happens on Facebook. Like if somebody tags me, I have to go through and approve a tag.
Yeah,
because of the friends we have, you just don't know.
Yeah, you cannot leave that up.
And I had much higher standards 2 or 3 years ago than I do now. Now I let a lot of stuff go through that I wouldn't 2 or 3 years ago. So there's stuff that I went through and approved that was so tame compared to what we do now. It was unreal. But I went through and had 167 tags to approve. So you guys will see on Facebook, if you've added me or Dakota or Spangle or some of these guys, there are old memes and things that were posted just forever ago that are going to be showing up in the feed again. So I got a kick out of that. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got, man. I'm looking forward to this next chapter of High Definition. We may have to hire a makeup crew to make us look good. You have youth on your side. You're 22 and I'm 34 and something.
35.
Yeah. Not yet. Not yet, but Clay cut my hair today, and you hold that stupid mirror up and you look behind you and you went, oh my God. There's a lot more flesh color back there than I would like to have.
Yeah, I'm trying to think here.
You got a little it's not looking good for you long term either.
No.
Your dad.
Have you ever seen my dad? Have you seen how bald that man is?
I know. Enjoy it while you got it.
He's a very bald man. And I kind of want to do a little bit of math here and make a point while we're on the air, too.
Is this going to be where you point out that you and I are halfway between your father?
I'm
halfway between the two of you?
Yeah, I was 12 years old when my dad turned 35.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that would mean that you were 25, 24, whenever my dad turned 35. You're like the right exactly.
Yeah,
halfway.
I'm like halfway.
Yeah,
I'm halfway between. Yep. Congratulations. I can scale up and down. We're doing my bachelor party in June. We've been planning that this week.
Right,
We got a place booked. and we're going to have people from the ages of 22 to like 43 at this thing. So
it's going to be a great time.
You and Chase are going to have to pick an old buddy and drag them along. Take care. Don't let any man fall behind.
I don't know. Whenever Party Jer gets unleashed,
I'm not worried about me. I'm just
you typically are the one that's dragging me along.
Yeah, I'm not worried about me. I'm gonna have a great time.
Yes.
All right.
We all are.
It's gonna be a good time. All right. That's enough of this shenanigans.
I think so too.
We'll see everybody on Thursday night. We've got a big episode with Mark Rutherford coming up.
Did you watch the Grammys?
No.
All right, we're going to talk about that on Thursday too.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.